Well, Kevin, thank you very much. Natalia of the Archdiocese of Boston Ethnic Faith Formation joins us here in studio on our temporary set to talk about Encuentro. Natalia, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we even start, okay, it might not be obvious to people. When are you due?
March 8th, so I have 7 more weeks.
You excited?
Very excited. It's our first baby, so we're very excited.
7 weeks and counting.
Oh yes.
Huge.
Now it's at that point. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Final.
Yeah, you're ready.
Final countdown.
Yeah, usually about this time, the moms usually say, okay.
Oh yeah. Sleeping is not even, can't really sleep at night very well, but I guess it's preparing me for what's to come.
Well, as the father of 3, you are in for a lifetime of excitement and treats and joy. It'll be a wonderful.
That would be wonderful.
Well, let's start with Encuentro. What is the meaning of the word Encuentro?
So the meaning is just it means a gathering or coming together. So literally an encounter. So in Spanish, it's the quinto encuentro, the 5th encounter, or the 5th gathering. So the Encuentro has a history, since this is the 5th one. The first one started in the 70s when the USCCB started to notice that there was an increase in the Latino and Hispanic presence in all of the parishes and churches, and they were trying to figure out how could they cater to that community. And so they started one, it was more of a study process. And from each Encuentro, there has been an action plan for diocese and the USCCB. So the first one, they developed a secretariat for Hispanic affairs in the USCCB, and then the other ones were regional offices. And the last one was only in 2000, so we haven't had one in 18 years to study and see how are we serving as the church in the United States, how are we serving the Hispanics and the Latinos since they're growing and becoming a majority in the Catholic faith in many of our areas. Just here in Boston alone, we have 46 parishes with Hispanic ministries. And so we're really excited about this process and how to actually engage and learn from the consultation process how we can serve our communities better.
I want to focus in, Natalia, on that word process, because the Encuentro is a process.
Yes.
And so there are events, there are stages, there are get-togethers and gatherings that are part of this process. Now in July, there was this great youth event.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that and then some of the other events that have happened along the way?
Yeah, so the Encuentro itself is a 4-year-long process that includes consultation, parish retreats, and then what we're going to be having right now is the diocesan, then there's the regional, there's the national. But in July, we actually had a youth event. We hadn't had a youth event for Hispanic youth in 20 years in the Archdiocese of Boston. So we met at Fontbonne, and there was 400 youth and young adults that came together. And they really celebrate their faith through the arts. So they had theater, little skits that they put on, music. We had adoration, and we had Mass with the Cardinal, and it was beautiful. And we used that opportunity to launch the process of the Encuentro, because we want the youth and the young adults to be part of it as well as everyone else. You want a great variety of different movements, different people to be engaged in this, so you can get a scope of how are we not reaching the people, what is lacking. So that was an amazing event that we had, and we were surprised at the turnout because we hadn't had something in 20 years, and we threw this and they came and they're very excited, and we hope to do it again this coming year.
And how important is it, and I know the answer to this in a sense, but to get these young people motivated and involved, because if we haven't done anything for 20 years, then we do. We have these 400 young adults who show up, they're excited. So how important is it to keep this momentum going? Very
important. So we've been, with me, I have a sister that works, Sister Elsa. She's down at the March for Life. We have 5 different buses from our different Hispanic communities who are down there. Father Alejandro and Father Paco, who are also guiding and leading the Encuentro process. They're bringing the young people there, but it's very important to keep them motivated. It's very important to keep them as part of this. So this is what is nationally this whole year, the past 4 years, starting in 2016, the Encuentro started with people choosing a diocesan team, then a regional team, a national team, and a diocesan team. And then they had what it was called parish Encuentros. So throughout 2017, every parish that has a Hispanic ministries engaged in a missionary 5-week process of how to become more intentional disciples. And they had a variety of youth. They have people from the Charismatic Renewal, from Cursillo, from the Neo-Catechumenal Way, all come together and just go through this process. And then in the end, they write down their parish results. So what's happening now that everyone is doing or has done in 2017, the beginning of 2018, throughout the nation, you have the results of those parish encuentros that you're going to reveal in a diocesan encuentro.
If you had a crystal ball, and obviously you don't, but you know, this hasn't been an Encuentro in some time. What do you think is going to come of this? Because something great is going to happen.
Yes.
What do you see at the end?
I think so. They will come together for the national, and they will study, and there'll be a process of discernment by the bishops and the priests in the diocese. I think a lot more is going to come out of this, in the sense of we need to be doing even more for Hispanic and Latino process. You know, it could be a new incentive or initiative for having Hispanic youth offices in diocese, or it could be just the fact that, hey, let's look at the future of our church. What does it look like? You know, it has changed, especially here in Boston. It's no longer just the Irish. You know, you have Mass celebrated in 21 different languages every week. So it could be definitely a more focus on, we have these young people. It has changed from the Hispanics we had 20 years ago. So who are the people in the church right now? And the majority of them, I think the age group is, you know, the medium of it all, it's 26. Everyone, if you add, there's a lot of the young adults that are in youth that are involved in the church are mostly Hispanic throughout the nation. And so it's just really that concern of the future of the church and how can we serve it and how can we get the attention, especially of the youth, but all of the other ones around, and how do we balance, you know, Hispanic ministry and the new culture that's coming, because some of them are integrating, and all of that.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, Natalia. Where quickly can people get more information?
So you can go to the online at the Archdiocese of Boston at bostoncatholic.org. You have a Quinto Encuentro page, or you can just search Quinto or Fifth Encuentro, and everything is in English, bilingual. You can learn everything about it.
Nice.
Well, we will put you and your family in the prayer box for March 8th.
Thank you
You'll
so
have to
much.
send us an update. Bonnie always does, to let us know how everything went.
That's my mother's birthday, by the way.
So
wonderful.
excited. Hopefully we'll get a picture of the baby. Thank you so much for
Sounds
being
great.
with us
Thank you for
today.
having me again.